Well, it looks like Keith Thurman, you better not duck me, Thun. You better not, I'm coming, is going to finally return to the ring against a very good opponent, Eimantas Stanionis, as part of a Showtime pay-per-view card, December 9th. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Gang, gang. Make sure you guys come in and subscribe to the channel. Now, the long-awaited return to Keith One-Time Thurman, it looks like it is coming sooner than later. Reports are now surfacing that Mr. One-Time Thurman from Florida, where is he from? St. Petersburg, Florida? St. Pete. Keith Thurman is going to fight against Eimantas Stanionis. Thurman has a great record, 30-1. He's only been beaten by Manny Pacquiao. I want to, it's up to my promoter, I believe, that 45, So this is a very good fight. I like the fight a lot. And at the end of the day, Keith Thurman, he's a dynamic fighter. It would be good to see him back in the ring. You know, who wants to see good fighters waste their prime years not fighting? And of course, Keith Thurman has had a lot of that, dry spells, you know, inactivity. And the weird thing is, I don't even know why Keith Thurman is as inactive as he is. Now, I know in the past he said he had bone spurts and stuff like that, but I don't know why more recently he's been inactive and hasn't fought since Mario Barrios. Speaking of Mario Barrios, he beat Mario Barrios. That was one of his comeback fights to break his dry spell. It was tougher than expected. Barrios even hurt him in the fight. But I will say this is that win is aged nicely for Keith Thurman because you had Mario Barrios who got with Bob Santos, and he just had a great win versus Yordenis Ugas, who was a big full-fledged welterweight, and then he pretty much added on to what Errol Spence had already done to Yordenis Ugas's eye. So Keith Thurman, in beating Barrios and then Barrios bouncing back with a great win over Ugas, it shows he's a player in the welterweight division. So I think that helped Keith Thurman. And again, his only other loss, or only other fight where he lost, where he actually lost, was against Manny Pacquiao, and that's a Hall of Famer. So Keith Thurman, I would definitely like to see him more active in the future, but this is a very good fight with Eimantas Stanionis. Now, as far as Stanionis, you really got to feel for the guy. The reason I say that is because he's a quality welterweight. He had a great performance on the Errol Spence undercard against a very tough ranked opponent, and he was scheduled to fight Vergil Ortiz Jr. At this point, I truly have lost count how many times the fight got canceled. Now, the very first time the fight got canceled between Stanionis and Ortiz, it was because of Stanionis. So he has to, it's a shared blame, but that was only one time. He had an infection, or he had to have his appendix removed. So he had to have appendectomy and appendicitis. He had appendicitis, that's what it was. And as a result, you know, you have to, that's a potentially complex surgery. So you got to take some time off and recover and rejuvenate after an intense surgery like that. So he had to halt his training. He had the appendectomy, and then he got back in the gym. And then after that point, he was scheduled to fight. They rescheduled the Vergil Ortiz fight. Then Vergil Ortiz pulled out. I think I don't even remember it at this point because it was so many times, but I think he said he was sick or he got injured in camp. Then they rescheduled the fight again. And then Vergil Ortiz, they said he got sick again. And eventually, after so many, at least 3 fails, possibly 4, they decided to put a lid on the fight, and they just terminated the whole concept of the fight. And I think Vergil Ortiz has been removed from the rankings, or at least the spot where he was, because he was high up in the rankings. And it's really weird because Golden Boy Promotions, they have, where has Vergil Ortiz even been? Like, is he a pro fighter anymore? Like, he literally, Oscar De La Hoya was giving him a lot of praise at one point in time, and he's never fighting. you know? So it's always something. And there's been times in the past where he's missed weight and he keeps pulling out a fight. It's ugly. So at the end of the day, I was feeling real bad for Stanionis, but like they say, good things come to those who wait. Stanionis has been very patient. Again, only one of multiple pullouts was because of him, and I can't really fault him if you have appendicitis. I can't, you know, that's just something you couldn't control. And it's not like he missed weight or failed a PED test. So I was hoping that he would get a big look and a big opportunity in a big fight, because it's kind of messed up. You know, it's jacked up. You do all this camp. I think, I'm not even being funny, I think Stanionis has been in camp for about a year. And I'm not even being funny, but he's been off and on in camp for about a year. That's a lot, because you have to understand these boxers, what they go through. Training is not easy. We already know that. That's very taxing on the body and the mind. Sometimes you're away from your family or your girlfriend, your wife, whatever the case is. And on top of that, it's costly, because you have to potentially get sparring partners. You have to eat nutritious food and do grocery hauls and go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or wherever you shop at, right? That stuff adds up. So I'm very happy. I love when boxing gets it right. And I like this fight. I like this fight. Keith Thurman, he needs to show that because he's been so inactive, he has to really show that he's a top guy that he once was, because Crawford beat Errol Spence dominantly. It looks like they'll probably be tied up in 2024 with a rematch. Keith Thurman keeps talking about fighting everybody, but he's not fighting. And I think fans grow real tired of that when they have somebody who's outspoken like Keith Thurman, but he's talking about, oh, I'll fight Jerron Boots Ennis and this and that, but you're not actually fighting Boots Ennis. You're talking about you want Terrence Crawford, who just looked marvelous, versus Errol Spence, but you're not fighting Terrence Crawford. So now this is a stern test. I think Stanionis really can fight, and it'll really show us where Keith Thurman is at this point of his career. And same thing with Stanionis. If he's looking to get potential future fights with Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford or Boots Ennis, you're going to have to get through Keith Thurman. So I really like it. I'm hearing that Danny Garcia versus Edeslandi Lara could be the main event for this Showtime pay-per-view, kind of the swan song, as Showtime has decided in 2024. They are discontinuing boxing and MMA programming to focus their efforts on other things. So it's kind of a swan song type of exit, and they're putting it on pay-per-view. I know some fans are going to cry about it, but, you know, whatever. If you're a boxing fan, get another sport. I hate that about boxing fans. Some boxing fans act like some of the brokest fans we've ever seen. Like, if you have Travis Kelce and he's dating Taylor Swift, football fans is buying his jersey and stuff. Like, they're buying up all the jerseys. No one's complaining about, oh, it costs money to go to the live games and the jersey costs and stuff like that. But you get a bunch of boxing fans who act like they have a lot of estrogen, and they complain and murmur because boxing costs, and there's a different packages like pay-per-view. I mean, it's really sickening. UFC does a bunch of pay-per-views. No one says nothing about it. Boxing does pay-per-views and people complain. Listen, it's just like if you're a wine connoisseur and you like fine wines, for the better wines, it's going to cost you. So if you don't like that, then go get a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 and shut the up. Let me know how I did in this video. Love the fight, Keith Thurman, Stanionis. I will keep you guys posted. It's supposed to happen in Vegas, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.